Today I wanted to talk about something that's very near and dear to my heart. My oldest brother has a mental illness called schizophrenia, and there are a lot of people that actually suffer from mental illnesses in this world, and a lot of people have relatives that suffer from mental illnesses. The survey that I did in class was actually pretty surprising to me. Only 25% of the people that took it were associated with or had relatives that had mental illnesses. So that leaves 75% of people in the class don't really know anyone that has a mental illness. And it's a very difficult struggle for families and for the individual. There's lots of different types of mental illnesses. There's schizophrenia, there's bipolar, there's Down syndrome, there's autism, and there's depression. And all of these have stigmas associated with them. And people are not aware of the stigmas a lot of time. The survey that I asked, the questions involved, had to do with the word retarded and how people felt about that. It was really surprising to me was that only, on a scale of 1 to 10, only about, the average was 4 of people being offended when they hear that word. As someone that has a brother that has a mental illness, I was surprised at that because when I hear that word, I do feel a little offended by that word, or it makes me feel sad that people don't realize that people around them suffer from mental illnesses every day. It's actually such a big deal that our president just passed a bill changing mental retardedness to intellectual disabilities. That's the official word that is used in medical and in government documents. And I think it's important for us to be aware of the stigma associated with that word and be aware of the times and how they're changing. I know that a lot of people are not aware that that word can cause negative feelings. And that's totally understandable. It's fun to joke around with friends, and in the media, it's definitely, it's used. And I understand that. And there's actually been some debate on that as to if that actually is a problem, if that is even a word that should be negatively used. I've recognized that there's this article that I read, and it talked about how in the future, it could be mental illnesses that actually has a negative stigma and not the word retarded. Of the people that read, or the people that did this survey, there was the majority of people said that they don't really think about that word, they don't really use it that often, and then there were some people that had no problem using it and use it quite often. And it's just a really interesting situation how people aren't really aware. But as Latter-day Saints, as a majority of Latter-day Saints, it's our opportunity, and also it's a privilege for us to be kind. And we are invited as disciples of Christ and as Christians to be kind to others. And it's important for us to realize the people around us and things that they're suffering, and especially with those with mental illnesses, and to be aware of the words and the things that come out of our mouths that could be taken offensively. So I would encourage all people to be kind and to think about the words that they use. And thanks. I'll finish it early. I need to